Hello and welcome to BlackScarabRantZ. Okay, listen, I've only used this title for two other videos. For talking about popcorn, which admittedly that was a joke video. I just sort of came up with an idea and it was stupid. And the only other time I've really used the BlackScarabRantZ was when I was talking about my feelings on a reboot of Ghostbusters, which I'm not for. If you want to make a sequel with female Ghostbusters, go ahead. Just don't reboot the universe. They went ahead and did it anyway. They didn't listen to my idea. So, why have I brought this name out of retirement? I haven't used it in almost 3 years. Why would I bring it out of retirement now? So if you don't know, I really like 80s TV. Like, old TV is my favorite thing, but like the 80s, the 70s and 80s were like my favorite 2 decades for TV. I mean, you know, me with MASH. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Emergency, which, is a good show, with Randy Mantooth. That is his name, Randolph Mantooth. That is Johnny Gage. And it has, Janeway's ancestor, Kevin Teague, as, his partner. Anyway, so, I'm gonna start talking about Emergency. That's not what I'm talking about. So, you know, like, I like Emergency. Old Doctor Who. Old Star Trek. You know, I like old TV. That's my point. So, a show that I don't necessarily love, but, you know, I have enjoyed it, is, CHiPs, which, if you don't know what CHiPs is, do you know who Eric Estrada is? If you do, you know what CHiPs is, because he basically, all of his appearances and everything else is a parody of his character Punch on CHiPs. Big Time Rush, when he played Carlos's dad, he was dressed like a California Highway Patrol cop. He had the helmet, because that's how Punch dressed. That was the joke. That was for the adults that the kids make them watch it. Or for kids who know what CHiPs is, like me. When he was on, I know he made cameos in an episode of The Nanny and an episode of Drake and Josh as cops who pulled over, characters from those shows. So, CHiPs is a show from the 70s or 80s. I can't remember. It might have been one of those shows that crossed over, between the two. But basically, the plot of CHiPs is it is a bunch of California Highway Patrol cops, CHP, which is where the name CHiPs came from. And it focuses on 2 main ones, John Baker, played by Larry Wilcox, and Frank Poncherello, played by Eric Estrada. And there's a lot of cool stuff. Their captain, or sergeant, Gitrard, I can never pronounce his name. He's played by Robert Pine, the father of, Chris Pine, who was Captain Kirk in the new Star Trek movie. So whenever I see him on CHiPs, I call him Thor, because Chris Hemsworth played George Kirk. It also featured, super 70s Michael Dorn. He had, a mustache and an afro. It's weird when I really only know him as, Worf from Star Trek, seeing him as, a person, as a human, and not as an alien, not as a Klingon. Because he talks differently when he's not Honor, Worf, like that. So, it's honestly fascinating for me. But, so, I haven't really gotten to the rant part because I have to explain this. The show is about cops, okay? It's about cops, shenanigans, silly 70s and 80s hijinks. You know what it's not about? It's not about Punch as an FBI agent going to become a highway patrol cop and being partnered with Baker, who is a fuck-up who joined it to impress his wife, who's played by Kristen Bell. And that is what, I'm here to talk to you about. They're remaking CHiPs. It's written and starring, and I think directed by Dax Shepard, known for being Kristen Bell's husband. And Michael Pena, I think it's him. He was the guy in Ant-Man. I don't remember I didn't see Ant-Man. I just know I saw him in the trailers. I think he was an Ant-Man. So, basically, what it is, John Baker is, this fuck-up who wants to impress his ex-wife, so he becomes a cop, and he's bad at it, and Punch is an FBI agent sent in to find dirty cops on the force. And everything about it is just a stupid buddy cop, it's like mid-2000s buddy cop movie. Like, The Nice Guys. Did you see The Nice Guys? It's like shit like that. And it annoys the crap out of me because, like, you have things like, you can do a buddy cop movie. Just why are you taking chips? Why do you take chips and do this? Why are you destroying it? I mean, if they ever rebooted MASH, I would, not enjoy that, and I probably would not support it because MASH is like it's a timed thing. Vietnam is over. It was about Vietnam. Don't make it about Gulf War or whatever. And like, you could reboot old TV. The A-Team movie wasn't that bad. Okay, so I was getting a little off message there, so I took a break. I watched the trailer again, and I'm freshly goddamn infuriated. Okay. Let's unpack this. I'll go back to the beginning. I'm gonna keep all that stuff in. So basically, the trailer shows us, Punch, who is an FBI agent who's not named Frank Puncharello. He is, I don't even know his name. I was too angry to remember. And he is a cop. He is an FBI agent sent in to find dirty cops, and he's paired up with a rookie, John Baker. And John Baker is Dak Shepard, and he's like this big fuck up, million surgeries, just not at all anything like Larry Wilcox's character. And he's doing it to impress his ex-wife, to show that he is responsible. His ex-wife is played by Kristen Bell, who is Dak Shepard's wife in real life. And I feel like he did this to, like, have something for him and his wife to be in together. But my question is, why the fuck did it have to be chips? I mean, okay. Oh god, I am like legitimately, like, I watched, like, one of the night I watched this, I watched it a couple days ago, and it was the last thing I saw before I went to bed that night, and I went to bed fucking furious, because why? Why are we rebooting chips? One, let's start there. Why are we rebooting chips? Why? Second, why is it a stupid comedy? And before you say, the original Chips was a comedy, yes, it wasn't like, MASH, where it, like, took focus on drama and had comedy elements. Chips was a comedy. It was, like, it was stupid. I admit it. There was a whole episode about Punch not wanting to get in the helicopter, to do a helicopter patrol for some reason. I don't remember why, but it was like, funny. And like the cops used to, basically the funniness would surround the other cops getting together to just fuck with Punch. Because, Eric Estrada was like, I'm this cool guy. And they're all like, you're not cool, man. You're one of us. And they just, they messed with him. And that was the comedy on the show. Was that they would mess with Punch and like play jokes on it. It wasn't like, in the trailer you have fucking Dak Shepard. I'm not calling him John Baker. I refuse to call him that. You have like Dak Shepard spilling a chili dog on himself, and they like speed through like an intersection on their bikes, and they knock into a bunch of cars, and there's an explosion. That's not what Chips was about. That's not what it was about. I don't know how to express my anger other than flailing my arms around, and it does not make sense on why this had to happen. Like, for example, Dan Aykroyd, a huge fan of Dragnet, made a Dragnet movie in the 80s, when Dragnet was, so it's like a approximately the same length of time that we have between this now. For example, let's say Dak Shepard is a huge Chips fan. That's possible. I don't know why he would completely bastardize something he likes, but whatever, let's pretend that. Dan Aykroyd made Dragnet. Now, while Dragnet was not a comedy, the movie was a comedy. You had Detective Joe Friday. Well, not Detective Joe Friday. You had Joe Friday's nephew, played by Dan Aykroyd. And you had him paired up with a massive fuck-up, played by Tom Hanks. And I can't remember his character's name, but it was something, it was something silly. And it wasn't bad. It was sort of a silly buddy cop movie, but, it wasn't a bastardization of Dragnet. More importantly, because it was a sequel, it, didn't destroy it. It was in the same universe. It's canon, technically. So it, didn't destroy it. They had Harry Morgan as Bill Gannon to pass the torch, which I'm hoping, not that I'm going to see the movie, but I'm hoping that they'll at least have the decencies to get Larry Wilcox or Robert Pine or Michael Dorn or Eric Estrada to do a cameo to pass the torch. If they don't, it will be the biggest disservice to them and the wonderful show that they created. God, I'm talking about it like I'm a huge fan of Chips, and I'm really not. This just really pisses me off as a fan of old TV. Dragnet, it was a comedy. It was a broad comedy, not even dramedy. It was just a comedy. There was a lot of, messing about, and it was good. It was a good movie. It took elements, it took comedy, and it put them together. And I think because Dan Aykroyd was he respected the source material. He respected the source material in making his movie, and it doesn't look like Dak Shepard is doing that, because I don't care if this is the first trailer. You can't make anything good out of that. I'm pointing to my computer, in case you don't know the layout of the room. My computer's over there. I had the trailer open, so I'm pointing at my computer, because that's where I saw the trailer. You have to respect the source material. It's I don't know how to put this in broader terms other than don't fucking reboot Chips. Don't let Dak Shepard near anything, because I don't think I've watched a single thing he was in that I, enjoyed, with the exception of, This Is Where I Leave You. And really that was enjoyable because of all the scenes that he wasn't in. It was funny because you had Jason Bateman and Tina Fey and, Jane Fonda and Ben Schwartz and Adam Driver. Oh, yeah, see that? Adam Driver. Kylo Ren was more fun to watch in that movie. It's not good. Oh, good. And I'm sick. I'm getting over a cold. It's why I didn't make a video 2 weeks. I planned take the first week of 2017 off, make a video second week. Didn't work out that way because I got sick. So I am not only, I'm sick and probably should not be angry and pissing myself off, but I am doing that because I want to bring you quality content about me yelling about why the fuck they rebooted Chips. Okay, let me try to sum this video up. I'm probably gonna, cut out bits of the video that don't work because this is just me talking a lot. They are rebooting Chips. I am not happy that they're doing it because the trailer is horrible. The movie looks like it is going to suck. It took out everything remarkable about Chips and replaced it with cliche, stupid buddy cop garbage, and I'm not happy about that. I do not think that that is a good idea. I think they should not make this movie. So, if you liked whatever the hell that was, you can subscribe and check out my other videos, which are significantly less like external anger. Like, if I have anger about most things I have anger about, I tend to keep that bottled up until I talk about it. But this I've just been raging about for 3 days. I basically told everyone I know that knows anything about chips about this. I will see you in the next video. See you then.
Thank you all for watching, and if you liked the video, you can hit subscribe and watch one of my other videos. My videos can be found on any of these fine sites, and if you want to help out, maybe consider supporting the show on Patreon. See you next time.